Hey guys, it's Sam again, and I'm doing a review on from a subscriber. Wanted me to do a review and some gameplay for the AMX CDC, the French Tier 8 premium tank. This one's been out for quite a while, so people would say it's probably not as good as some of the newer, like same for example Lorraine 40 ton, but it's still a pretty fun little tank, still pretty good. In its history is 1946. The French decided to build a new medium tank. Had a mechanical autoloader, 90 millimeter gun. Um, but once it was thought out, once it was drawn up, they're like, this is going to be too big, too complex, and too thin of armor. So it never advanced to a prototype at all. So essentially, it's another paper tank. What's kind of cool about it is though is I mean, this is so it's actually just an odd looking tank for and in game it's probably one of the real unique looking tanks. I mean, the only thing it really needs is some fins, like from like the 50s Cadillacs. Now that would be awesome, right? uh, but in reality, I mean, it was a never made it to prototype stage. So but we do have it here in World of Tanks. Let's give it a once over. I think this thing came out 3 years ago, probably 2 years, at least 2 years ago. So it's one of the older premium tanks in game. For the actual stats on the tank, 240 average pen, 212 average penetration. So this is it's a little bit less than the newer premium tanks. Almost 10 rounds a minute, 6-second reload. Turn traverse is 41 and negative 10 degrees gun depression. So this is a really fun tank on a hill, and it works pretty well. 2-second aim time, 0.318 dispersion, very accurate, and it almost 2,400 average damage per game. 1,400 hit points, 30 on the front, 30 on the turret, 30, 30, 30. Yeah, don't get shot. And I mean that literally. Just HE rounds can pen this tank. That's how thin the armor is. The only thing it really does have going for it, you will bounce stuff off the gun mantlet, but don't rely on it. This is pretty much like a hard cheese, and this is a really like a soft cheese maybe. It doesn't have a lot going for it, and that's why it gives itself such a huge 1,200 engine horsepower, brake horsepower, 34 tons. So it gives just an absolute 35 per ton per. I mean, the ton to weight ratio on here is, or ton to horsepower ratio on this thing is just ridiculous. Therefore, it does get up to speed very quickly, and it holds it. Hills doesn't really matter; it just goes. 57 kilometers top speed. I really think this thing should be a lot faster than 57, but it's one of the few tanks, like I said, in a hill, you climb in it, no problem. It doesn't slow down. It doesn't, it just with its low weight, high horsepower, it just moves. 43 for the traverse speed. Concealment, once again, not the greatest. It's doable. Spotting, 447. I got this at the view range. I've only got actually this. Don't even have the second skill on this tank. So yeah, once you get the other, I'm running coated optics, obviously. But once you get some of the other skills up there, obviously you can get it up quite a bit further than that. 782 signal range. All, that's pretty much standard for tier 8 premiums. Same way with credit making, standard, you do 3k damage, kill plus spotting, it's 100k silver. Pretty standard for all tier 8 mediums and whatnot. This thing is, like I said, very snapshots, does very well, shooting on the move. It's just an all around medium. I mean, it's a medium's medium. I mean, flanks well. Traverse a little slow when you're trying to get around on behind guys and stuff, but yeah, it definitely works. As for cruise trainer, commander, gunner, driver, and loader, which I think, and I'm not terribly sure because I don't really do French. I'm assuming that this is probably pretty close to the same thing as the come out. No, there's 3 in there, but at least it can cover most of the crew for your bad chats. You know, it does have the ability to actually train some crew, you know, no problem. So the it's a tier 8 gun. It's a 90 mil, 212 pen. We were talking about that earlier. The APCR, pretty decent, 259. You know, it's definitely got enough pen with APCR rounds. And you do find yourself, you know, and I see the matchmaker's been kind of fixed a little bit, so I got a lot of tier 8 games today. But, you know, if you do find yourself running into some of the tier 10s and whatnot, you probably won't have a problem. 212 is a little light for dealing with some of the, and you'll see in the game where I had on Sand River, I was having a hell of a time pinning the an IS-6, which is weird because usually that just goes right through, especially by the hatch. I don't know if it was I wasn't hitting the hatch or what, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I get up there. So yeah, play this. You know, this is a medium. Play a little bit if you can. Play a little bit back. You know, you don't have the armor, and this is all about managing hit points. You know, 1,400 hit points. You have to manage that. You're not going to be able to rely on your armor. So if you don't have to take a shot, don't take a shot if you don't have to. You know, you obviously everybody knows about managing hit points. You know, the risk versus reward. If it's worth it, take out a tank. You know, hey, you're going to take 150 damage, 200. Yeah, go ahead. You're going to take 500. Yeah, maybe not such a good idea. So manage those hit points with this tank, and it'll be do just fine. My usual loadout for mediums: coated optics, rammers, vents. So yeah, that works. Once I get the crew skills built up on this a little bit better, I imagine it's you know, the view range and all that stuff is gonna be much better for at least the view range when I get some of the skills on it and stuff. Solid bar at the Halloween Garage. Actually, it's the first night I've played since the Halloween stuff come out, so I'm not terribly sure what the fuck that thing is in the background. It looks Russian. It could very well be Russian. Who knows? Typical, you know, repair kit, med kit, fire. You know, that works just about every tank. So I'll be bringing up the gameplay. I'm going to be telling the subscriber was curious more how to actually play the tank. So I'm going to run through some of the what I'm doing, what I'm thinking as I'm playing the tank. So yeah, here we go, boys. Back with some gameplay. We're doing the Korea, Asian, Sacred Valley, whatever the fuck they're calling it this week. So anyway, AMX CDC, great mobility. Use this, and what I mean by use it, get in positions where you can get off early shots, because it gives you a chance to set up, you know, before the tanks get to certain spots. And in this situation, I'm going to be going the 8-9 line over here toward the temple, I guess you'd call it. And I'm going to use my, you know, of course I'm going to use my gun depression, 10 degrees. And what I'm doing over here is just going to get up in here and wait and see what I can see and what I can find. That's going to be coming up the 8-9 line, because you know they're going to be. So this is what I'm talking about. Use the speed, use the mobility of the CDC to get yourself in position to take early shots. You know, if you can get a couple shots in, you know, great. So get up the hill here. Got 4 tanks with me, and I'm going to pop the hill right here, which is usually about the time I get some shells. Finds the CDC, puts a shell into him, 255. Yeah, it's a little bit less, a little bit more than average, not bad. I got an AMX 12 or a Hawk here, T28. I want to get a shot in on this prototype, but I'm not going to hang out and get shot at in return. So I'm pulling back. Just gonna wait till he gets up here a little bit forward. CDC puts a shell into me. Put a nice shell into the T28. He's my target right here. I really want to get rid of him. He's got a big gun with a pretty good reload. I don't want him to be hanging out here. So I got the Hawk over here, and I'm just thinking about poking. He pulls a bucking once again. Just gotta love them snapshots. So with the CDC's starting to back up here, and I'm going to give some chances to get some shots in on him. Pull back. He's not even paying attention to me, but I know I have that prototypes over there, and I'm, you know, pretty sure I'm probably going to get shot. That's, yep, there's the prototype. But I do have a chance here to try to finish off this CDC, so I'm trying to get his shots as many as I can into him before he runs away. Because at this point, like I said, I was kind of curious why the Proto, or why the 59 and the E4 had really pushed up. I was kind of hoping they would kind of give me some help here with the prototype instead of letting him come up the hill to shoot me. But you know, that's puppies for you. What are you gonna do? All right, watching. I'm trying to get him. I really want to get a shot in on this prototype because he had moved up a little bit here. Still has the Hawk 12. The rest of them kind of have moved off, and I'm just kind of peeky poke here and see if I can see the CDC and see where he's at. The other side's got a major charge coming here, and I would really like to be able to, but I don't. I don't finish off the prototype. Kind of, you know, donk that shot. They killed the Proto. So I got the CDC here. He's got a house in front of him. Let's see if I can put a shell in there, knock it out. Nope. All right, so the other side's failing, and this is where the mobility of this tank comes into play. We're going to start pushing here. We're going to E4, 59, and a SU-101. At the same time, we have a 416 and a bat chat over here engaging about 4 tanks. So we're off. My first shell is going to obviously be the low health CDC. I'd really like to get rid of him, and don't get a shot in quite quickly enough, leaving the Wheezy 132 over here, and put a shell into him, do a little ram, get about 420 off of him. Now it's time to finish him off, get a shot from the LTTB, find him, knock him out. So now we're still down 5-7. They've pretty much wrecked that entire side. I got a Hawk 12 in front of me. I'm just looking right now just to see if I can get him lit, and he's not paying attention anymore. Come around the corner, put a shell onto him. Yeah. So now I got an artillery piece up here. At this time, I'm just catching cap a little bit. You know, they've obviously seen the enemy team knows I'm over here. So I pull around, have the GW here, put a couple shells into him, finish him off, and yeah. All right. So you're gonna see me here. So the E4 comes rolling in here. I'm pretty sure, I'm actually pretty positive we're going to get a bunch of heavies getting here. They come back. Now the E4, he doesn't actually pay attention. He just drives right on into cap, which doesn't do us a whole lot of good. So I turn around here. I'm going to set up here on the Chronovon, and I'm going to try to get some shots in on him. I'm playing that, you know, essentially the medium, just the peeky poke here. He's not paying attention. Get my shot in. He's still not paying attention. Pull up, take another shot, finish him off. That's leaving me here with an IS-3, but I can't take a shot. So I have the IS-3 on this side and the Wheezy on this side. The E4, once again, if we would have had a little bit of help here, might have been able to help me out a little bit here. Unfortunately, I have no support. The 416's on that on front of me here, and I got an IS-3. Now I got an E4, and I got a Tiger 2. I got a lot of shot. So I get one shot into him just to get some more damage before I die. I still end up with about 3,200 damage, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting game here. Wheezy just drives on over. E4, once again, just absolutely not paying. He didn't need to be in cap. He saw all this stuff streaming over here. He could have most likely taken up a better position than simply be on the open, and then give your side to a Wheezy or IS-3 or whatever that shot him there. Played this from wherever it was. They switched to HE shells, which is legit now because firing HE shells out of 122s work, I guess. Go figure, right? So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this game. This ended up being a win. We had knocked enough hit points off those heavies that these guys were able to clean up pretty easily. They were almost all they were actually all one shots for all these CDs. So I hope you can understand what I was talking about here about the medium play with this tank. I mean, this is a medium. I mean, there's nothing redeeming about it. There's no armor to play off of, but it has great mobility, a really nice gun. So you're able to do, you're able to flank, you're able to maneuver, and push lines. And that's kind of what I was doing. Other than the fact I got caught when all those heavies pushed back. I was hoping to get out of there, but unfortunately, with that Carnivon coming up, I thought, well, you know what, maybe I'll stick around here for a little too long. Got a little greedy with my for my damage, but hey, you know, that happens. Like I said, still ends up being a win. These guys end up cleaning up this this game pretty well. So, but I'm going to be bringing you. The next game is going to be on Sand River, so we'll see you guys there. Alright fellas, back with the next game, and we are playing Sand River here. Give a little advice to some of the players, hopefully they listen, which they do. It always works out best, especially since this is assault and we're defending. In this type of game, I'm going to be playing this thing kind of a little bit more like a light tank. I'm going to use my view range and spotting to light some stuff here, and this is what I talk about the mobility of this tank. You know, getting into position early, get some early shots, you know, and abuse that gun depression, and that's kind of what it's for here. So down in the trench I go. If you're not familiar with this game mode, and if you're on the defending side, own this trench. If you own this trench right here, either side and or all the way along here, you're going to win the game. Most times, 99% of the time, you're going to win this game. So move up, looking around. Ooh, spot me a charioteer and a scorpion G right off the bat. Get some early damage, get some early lights here. Got a bat chat coming up here, so now I got an E5 coming with me over here, and I'm just gonna kind of play off here. So we got a Wheezy coming there. This is actually, you know, like I said, playing this a little bit more like a light medium, I guess. Of course, artillery loves me because they all love me. I got a Tiger 2, IS-6, Wheezy 111. So they have a fair amount of armor right here. We got an FCM Overwatch, and they have a Bad Chat 12T over here. Now we have an IS-3. There is a stinking ton full of armor over here. This E5, and you'll see me here. I'm only going to stick around for just a little bit here, enough to get one more shot into the 12T. And this is not something I want to dick with. You know, this is not something I can play against. Not something I can bounce with my turret. Not you know, nothing really at all. So you're going to see me here switch out. I'm not going to sit around here and wait and get shot in the face 100 times. I'm going to move over here, by the way, where the IS-3, the Lorraine is, and the T-34-3. I'm going to wait right here. I'm going to see what's going to happen. You know, this is some of the things about, especially when you're playing mediums, is the patience. Recognizing when and how and where and when you should push, you know, is pretty important here. So, looking for nothing, couldn't find him. Still got the 8.8 up here. Use that wonderful gun depression, aim in, put a nice shell into his lower plate. That's about the time I noticed this push right over here. We got an IS-6, Tiger 2, they're pushing over here on the E5, and I come back here. I know there's not much, a whole lot I can do to help him here, other than try to do as much damage to these guys as I can before they kill him. Missed the shot on the IS-6. I don't know how I dunked that one. Apparently it was, you know, not paying attention here. So, got the Tiger 2, put a nice shell onto him. Once again, use that great mobility of the medium. And that's what, and this is part of the whole medium thing is, I don't want to get shot. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for them to shoot, you know, the enemy heavies, and letting them shoot first before I come out and pull out. And this is one of those things, remember what the reloads are. IS-6 reloads in a little bit over 9 seconds. Well, no, actually closer to 10 seconds. Yeah, you want to remember that reload. We're waiting here, waiting for him to fire. Takes a shot at him. I can pull out here, take it. Yeah, I was trying to go for the lower plate, but that didn't work with the crap because I ended up shooting his little bars right there. So switch back to premium, puts it into his little hatch right there, and he's almost the exact same spot I pinned last time, but didn't work out. All right, so up 1,600 damage. You know, you see what I'm talking about when waiting for him to fire, then pull out and shoot. You know, don't, once again, manage your HP. You know, I'm at about 1200 HP. I've lost 200 here. Pull up here, see if I can spot anything. I've got the RHM spotted. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything back here that's taking advantage of it. The Ferdinand, he didn't fire. Yeah, what are you going to do? So, once again, way too many baddies over there. RHM's over here. So we have the STA1 and the Scorpion G. So I'm going to pull up here in the center right here and see what I can see and what I can spot. I end up finding the Scorpion G hanging out. You know, using, as I said, once again, using my turret, just poking up enough of the gun to get a shot off, and that it, making it harder for the enemy tanks to shoot me. I'm trying to support these two as much as I can, in case they decide to get pushed again by the Wheezy, the IS-3. Now we have the T-25 Pilot and the Roomba back here. So yeah, I'm kind of watching here just to see what could possibly push on them. You know, I'm in the support role right here. Lorraine, he seemed to forgot that there's still 3 tanks up on the hill. Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. All right, so and about this time, you know, I see that this is still relatively safe right here. They're not really pushing down. You know, there's a Ferdinand in the back there. He's supporting them, but this is about the time I noticed that our light tank had lost out on the other side. Pull back up over here. I'm just kind of looking around, see if I can find that Roomba and see what he's up to. I don't see anything. Once again, great mobility. Get up to speed quickly. Hold speed well. And I'm off here over here to find out what's going on. The Roomba's been missing. 8.8, no idea where he's at. Charioteer's still maybe up in the hill, we don't know. But now I'm playing this as, you know, essentially a scout tank. I need to find out what's going on here. I'm looking around, seeing if I can find anything, and you know, at least give it a target. That's about the time I see the Roomba puts a good shell into me. Put a shell into him. I was kind of hoping to get a little more support, but then he was on the backside, maybe an artillery shell, something, anything. Nothing. So we knew where the room was at. 8.8 wasn't over here either yet. He hadn't pushed up. So wait till the Roomba vanishes. Come back over here. Still checking the flanks. You know, this is the great thing about this tank. You know, the ability that it has to move. Pretty decent view range. Back up on top here to see what I can find. Poke over, find the Roomba. Yeah, I'm not taking a chance of getting blasted by him again. I still have 702. I probably could eventually ended up, you know, waxing him out, but I'm trying to stay alive at this situation. Provide eyes, provide support for my tanks. So now he still thinks I might be there, so now I'm going to run over to the next ramp and see what's going on. And I apparently got lost in the trench. Go figure. Alright, 8.8 gets spotted coming up, which is nice because if I can get over into this position right here, it'll actually let you. You know, this is a lot of things about medium tanks. If you know the positions, you know where you can get shots at, it makes it really easy for a medium tank to do that. RHM has no idea I'm here, and my excellent gun handling missed. Charioteer's still playing like a bitch. He's still up on the hill. He'd rather, you know, lose than actually get involved. Well, that's kind of, you know, that's kind of the problem with TD players. A lot of times they just rather lose than actually, you know, maybe go for the win. So I'm calling my arty out. I'm telling my arty I want right there, pinging it. I want the RHM to die. Hopefully he hasn't given me a confirmation yet of what I need to do. So I'm still waiting for him to, you know, give me an idea that he's ready. Pull back up here, spot the RHM. You know, and that's the nice thing about, you know, if you're not familiar with how the spotting works, all you really need is to get your cupola above that top. Alright, so Lorraine's ready. He said he's ready to fire. So I'm going to get ready here, and I'm going to pull up here and just pull up just enough to give him something to shoot at. Pull up. Yep, there he is. Back off. Not showing too much of my tank. Unfortunately, he does not get the the kill on him. But we're down to a minute, so it's a little bit easier here. Got the 8.8 right here. Looking. Oh, too high. I was actually going to try to aim for the idler wheel there and see if I can track him on the point. But this is what I'm talking about. Abuse that turret. Abuse that gun depression. Show as little turret as possible to what you're doing. Scorpion G moves around. He's actually went after this guy. Puts a nice big hit into him. Looking. Nope. See if I can get a shot in on him. Doesn't happen. RHM. He's looking at me. Pull down. You know what? I'll bait you up there. Come on, buddy. Yep. Lorraine finishes off the Roomba. 18 seconds left. We've got the flank cleared. We got one guy up on the hill left, and a couple of these guys down here. So now I'm just hanging out. There's no sense of getting stupid with 8 seconds left. You know, saves yourself the repair. So not a real great game. 2100 damage, 1000 spotting, but you know, just showing a little bit of the mobility of this tank and how it plays. You know, it's great mobility. Play it like a medium. I mean, it's a medium. I mean, there's just, you know, with that mobility, the gun handling, gun depression, you know, use and abuse it. Hopefully, as I get the critical skill built up a little bit more, you know, I'm going to increase my view range as much as possible. So thanks for watching. I hope this helped you out. And if you have any more questions, you know, you actually can PM me in game too. If anybody has any questions, or you know, wants to get better at this game, you know, hey, PM me in game. You know, come over, jump on RTS. We'll hang out and we'll go through some things. So thanks a lot, guys.